What's up, guys? This is Christian Brindle with Six Figure Medicare Agent. Hope this video finds you doing well. And we're back with another video. I've been asked many times to share my opinion on final expense sales, so today in this video, I'm going to do just that. But before I get into that, guys, I need to talk to you about my favorite telemarketing lead company. And I know you know it's coming. That is Lead Heroes, guys. Lead Heroes has got you covered when it comes to final expense leads, Medicare supplement replacement leads, turning 65 leads, whatever it is that you might be needing from a leads perspective. If you're in the two industries we're going to be talking about in this video, Lead Heroes has got you covered, guys. They do all the hard work for you about getting qualified and interested customers in front of you, and they only match you with high quality intent customers, whether it be live transfer leads, preset appointments, whatever the case might be, they've got you covered. Just because you watch this video today, guys, Lead Heroes is going to give you 10% off any order you make on their website. There's a link to their website that can be found down in the description, as well as the coupon code that you're going to want to use at checkout. So give them a try. Guys, my friends, let's talk about final expense sales. So final expense sales is very different than Medicare sales, Medicare supplement sales, Medicare Advantage sales. So for those of you who might not know what I'm talking about with final expense, I think most of you will, but final expense is going to be small whole life burial policies, essentially, more or less. $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 amounts, typically, depending on the carrier. And it's essentially a little burial policy that people will typically buy. Now, final expense sales, in terms of how the model is constructed, is much different than Medicare. So Medicare is based on a smaller percentage of the premium that's paid out to you in the form of commission. Like Medicare supplement sales are typically going to be 19, 20, 21, 22%, depending on the carrier and the state, in terms of the street level commission that they'll pay you on the premium. And they'll typically pay you that for about 6 years before the premium goes down, or the commission goes down that they're going to pay you on the premium. Whereas final expense, on the other hand, they're going to pay you a much larger percentage in the first year, something like 100, 110, 120, 130%, sometimes even higher than that, but in terms of the percentage of the premium that they'll pay you. And some people might be asking themselves, 110%, that's more than the actual premium that's being paid. Correct. They're able to do so because they typically lose money when they're working with an agent in the first couple of years, but in the second year of the policy, they usually pay little to no renewals. That's the catch. So they pay you a much larger amount up front, but really nothing going forward, if not very little, depending on the policy and the insurance company. Final expense sales typically do end up going hand in hand with Medicare sales. You see a lot of agents offer both. But I do get asked all the time that if I'm new to the insurance industry and I want to learn one product and specialize in that and maybe add the other one down the road, which one should I pick? And they both have their positives and negatives the way that I look at it. Of course, I have my preference, right? This is six-figure Medicare agent, not six-figure final expense agent. But in my personal opinion, you guys, and we don't do a ton of final expense here, it's just not our focus, right? We are very much a Medicare shop, but I do believe that they're good to sell together, but some of the challenges you find with agents that are specifically specializing in final expense. Now, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of agents out there that sell a ton of final expense over the course of each year, and they make a very good living, right? There's people I know that make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $1 million a year plus selling final expense insurance. But the thing is, since there's such little to no renewals involved in the second, third, fourth, fifth year of the policy, you have to continuously be selling new business. Now, with Medicare, you always want to be selling new business as well, but it's much more possible to build up a clientele of 500 to 1,000 clients and just kind of sit on that and service your clients. It's more of a long-term relationship business opposed to final expense, where they really just want to keep the customer on the books for 9 to 12 months, depending on the carrier, so they don't get a charge back, right? And with final expense, since you're paying out much higher commissions, or you're receiving much higher commissions, those chargebacks can be a lot more devastating than they can with Medicare. It doesn't mean they can't add up with Medicare as well, but one chargeback can take a bite out of what you're making very quick, fast, and in a hurry. A lot of times with final expense agents, though, I find that the clientele that they're working, same with Medicare, ends up crossing paths in terms of people are going to be eligible for both. final expense and Medicare. So it is good to offer them together, but sometimes people have a little bit of a problem just knowing which one they should start out with. Final expense can best be explained as, in my opinion, you're on a hamster wheel, if that's all that you're doing, because you have to continuously be selling. Because since there's no renewals involved, if you the moment you stop selling, the moment the income stops coming in. Now, the exception to this is if you build out a team of agents working under you that are selling. But since they figure out what I'm saying at some point, in most situations, a lot of time the turnover rate is very high. So I see a lot of final expense shops really act more like meat grinders, where they're constantly throwing new bodies and warm bodies into the machine to get them to keep selling. Final expense clients can also best be explained very similarly to DSNP clients with Medicare Medicaid clients on the Medicare side. They'll change for a cookie. They really will sometimes. And so that's why I've never really been a huge fan of targeting Medicare Medicaid clients, because I feel like, they'll sign up with you for an extra dental benefit, but they'll leave you for a lesser dental benefit in 3 or 4 months, but they might have one or extra gym available in another plan's gym benefit on the Medicare Advantage side. And final expense is kind of the same way, to be honest with you. So those chargebacks can work against you. And the way that a lot of final expense agents have their commissions set up is, let's say someone has a 100% commission rate for a final expense contract. Now, that's actually probably pretty low for a lot of carriers, but let's just use it as an example. If the client pays $100 a month, for example, for a final expense plan, well, they're going to pay $1,200 over the course of the year, which means if you're at 100% commission, they pay you $1,200 over the course of the year. They pay you the entire amount. A lot of agents will be set up on 6-month, 9-month, 12-month advances on final expense. If you're set up on a 12-month advance and they cancel too soon or maybe over a certain period of time, you might have to pay back the remaining amount that they paid you. Or maybe the entire amount if it's too soon, if it's in within the first couple of months or so, depending on the carrier. So those chargebacks can add up quickly, and they can really take a bite out of your income. You get chargebacks with all types of insurance, but I feel like they're really the most devastating with final expense. I believe final expense is a good product to have in your portfolio and your arsenal, but I've always been, I don't know. I mean, I've always preferred Medicare much more because I feel like it's a much more scalable long-term business model for the average agent. Now, of course, there's exceptions to that, and I'm sure I'll have final expense people coming out of the woodworks and yelling at me that be like, I've scaled my final expense organization to this. I'm not saying it's not impossible, but if I had to specifically pick one of the two that's more scalable, I would pick Medicare because of the long-term renewals and the relationship process that you build with the clients. Most final expense agents might not have that same capacity or ability to do that since there's no renewals involved with their final expense customers and clients. So it's just kind of a different business model, guys, than Medicare. I really do believe it's a hamster wheel business model because unless you have people under you that are selling and you have to continuously always be out there selling and selling and selling, and you can never really take your foot off the gas. Otherwise, your income takes a pretty significant dip in most situations. Anyway, guys, what do you think about this? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong about final expense sales? I'd love to hear your comments. Drop them down in the comment section. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. And make sure to subscribe for future six-figure Medicare agent content. Just wanted to make a video for you guys and talk about my opinion on final expense sales. I think it's great. I think it's a great opportunity. I think you can make a lot of money very quickly, but I do see some holes in it like everything, and I wanted this video to kind of highlight the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything else in between. If you misinterpret my message on this, I believe that if you're selling final expense or Medicare, you probably should end up at some point selling them both together. But if you had to pick one or the other to start with, if it was me, I'd pick Medicare. My friend Justin Brock always says that Medicare is the hardest thing to learn and the easiest thing to sell. I agree with that because it's more needed. Final expense might be the easiest product to learn, but maybe much harder to sell. So I think they both have their positive and negative to them. Of course, I favor Medicare a little bit more. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll be back with more videos and not too long from now. So make sure to hit the bell if you've subscribed so that way you're notified when we drop a video. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Much success to you and take care.